Hi there. Welcome to 31 Days of Christmas with my Oppo. My name's Liam O'Neill. I'm one of the trustee members of the charity, and today is a great honour and a great privilege to talk to you about failure. Now, failure is a topic I'm sure we've all experienced in our lives at one stage or another. Myself, experienced failure many times throughout my life, and it's not a nice thing to have happen to us. Very recently, I failed a test that I should have passed and could have passed, and it left me feeling incredibly down and hard on myself. And I was beating myself up about it. And I thought about it. I thought, okay, I failed. At first, I felt as if I'd been kind of cheated to some degree. And the more I thought about it, I thought, well, no, I failed for a reason, and there's a standard, and that standard has to be reached, and that standard has to be passed. And the more I went away and thought, and the more I came to the decision that no, actually, I didn't reach the standard. I didn't get to where I needed to be. I've got to go and practice, I've got to go and train and work harder. And it's a very hard thing to come to terms with mentally, failure. I'll come back more onto the test shortly, but just want to discuss failure itself. It's, like I said before, a very hard thing to deal with and a very hard thing to actually cope with as well. It leaves you feeling down. It can leave you feeling quite depressed, particularly if you're experiencing failure after failure after failure. And it makes you feel as if what you're doing isn't good enough. And even if you're training and practicing for things and working really hard and you're still failing, that can be even worse, because if you don't train, you don't practice, then you kind of expect to fail things. But when you are practicing, you are training, you are working very hard, and you're still failing, it leaves you feeling as if all your efforts are for nothing. And that can be quite demoralizing. If you're suffering from PTSD, the effects of failure can be tenfold, because that will sink you even lower down than you're already feeling. Now, I went away, I practiced, I trained, and I did the test again this week, and thankfully I passed this time, and I felt much better for it. But this time, after having done some practice and some training, I felt much stronger, I felt much better doing the test, and it felt a lot easier than the first time I did it, which was a good thing. And it does go to show that hard work does actually pay off. And the more I thought about it again, I thought, just because you failed something doesn't mean that you yourself are a failure. Again, as we move into Christmas, the other things that I've discussed before, such as money, stress, OCD, all these things can leave you in a position where you feel like you're failing at a time when you're supposed to be the most happy. Now, I'm not the most Christmassy of people. I'm not the most Christmassy person. I used to love it when I was a kid, and for my children and for my partner, I love Christmas for them and the experience and the joy it gives them. But I myself am not particularly Christmassy. And part of the reason is because I think that when we go back into the new year, we've got this big explosion into Christmas, and then we go back to a dreary January. A lot of people have got money worries, which is what we discussed in one of the previous videos. And again, talking about failure, it can leave you feeling as if you've failed somehow. You've built yourself up to something that is all over in a bang. You've worked hard all year for something that was over very, very quickly within 24 hours, and you're working up to something again for the next year or another celebration, and it can leave you feeling as if you failed yourself because you've got to work so hard again when you should be just coasting and relaxing. Well, like I say, failure doesn't have to be the negative that it is often portrayed as. The takeaway for me of that, and I think that a lot of people can feel the same, is that failure gives you that chance and that opportunity to bring back better and to work back much harder than you did before. And when those results are shown to actually work, it is so enlightening and it is so positive to the soul. And it truly is a great experience. Your life is only lived once. Don't count your life on your failures. Think about your successes. But think of failure as a stepping stone to that success. Many successes never happened because they never failed. And many successes did happen because people did fail and they learned from it. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I really do hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and take great care. Thank you.